What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. As you guys saw in the intro, I'm getting a charging system failure light on my 2005 Pontiac Grand Prix, so today we're changing out the alternator. The battery is less than a year old and all the wiring has been gone through in the last year, so I'm pretty sure it's this alternator. It's the only thing I have never replaced on this car. It does have some indicator marks that it has been replaced sometime in its life, but not in the last 10 years that I've owned it, so I'm pretty sure it's time anyway. And it'll look a little bit nicer and cleaner under the hood. So today I was going to make a quick video on how you change an alternator on a 3800 engine. This should work the same on whether you're supercharged or not, or you're in a Buick or a Pontiac. It's all the same, as long as it's a Series 2 or 3 3800 engine. So let's get to it. These are pretty easy to do on the 3800 engine, being that they're on top of the engine. It's basically just taking the belt off and then a bolt here, 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 and a couple wires on the back. It's pretty straightforward. So the first step though is to disconnect the battery. Next, if you do have, I have a ZZP strut tower mount, which is just two 15mm bolts here. Kind of just get this up out of the way. Pretty straightforward, easy to move. You don't want to totally disconnect it. You have a 15mm bolt here holding this alternator bracket on, and then a 13mm bolt here back to the supercharger. I just loosened this and I was able to kind of just flip it up out of the way. So that's just out of the way now, so you don't have to totally disconnect that. I mean, you can. And then yeah, it's just those three 15mm bolts. You could start with the wires though. It's just a little clip right here. You can clip. It's just a 2-prong wire. And then you have a 13mm bolt right here, which I've actually loosened, and it holds the power wire on. Just comes right out. Next would be the belt. So you want to get on the tensioner down here and turn it counterclockwise, and I'm not taking the belt completely off because it's supercharger belts here and other problems. I'm just gonna pull it up off this pulley so it just kind of sits right here. So I'll do that next, and then we'll be just taking those 3 bolts out and it's basically out. There, just like that. Just flip the belt down right next to it. Pretty much free, just those 3 15mm bolts and it's out. Told you guys this was going to be a quick video. Now that it's out, you guys can see how dirty it is compared to the new one. It should be a lot nicer and hopefully it solves my issue. One thing to note is there are different sized bolts that hold this on. You have this longer stud here that goes in this spot. If you put it here, it will sink through and hit your valve cover and you will crack it, so make sure this bolt goes here. The shorter one ends up going right here over the valve cover, and the slightly longer one goes in right here, right above this pulley. Now on some cars you might need to flex this pulley out of the way, push it down to pull it out, but I didn't have to on my car. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and install this new one real quick and start it up and see if it worked. Alright guys, got the alternator all bolted into place, got the wires connected, got everything else mounted back where it was. I reconnected the battery. We're going to go ahead and start the car. Go ahead and throw the old alternator in the parts graveyard with all the other shit we've replaced. Go ahead and give this thing a crank, see if the charging system failure light's still on or not. A cold start. Yes, traction control. Variable speed effort. Sweet. Well, I think that solved my issue, guys. As you saw on the dashboard when I first started the car, I also have a traction light and an ABS light. It's for this wheel bearing. So in the next month or so, we're probably going to take the tires off and replace the brakes, the front brakes, and both front wheel bearings. Probably next month. I'm going to get some more money in. But yeah. Leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.